Having a good quality conversation about workplace adjustments is one of the most important ways of getting the right support in place. In this video, we'll talk about why that is, how you can prepare for a conversation, the sorts of questions or areas to cover, and some possible actions you can take coming out of that. Line managers play an important role in getting any adjustments in place, and any conversation you have is going to be a key step in identifying and removing barriers for line managers and employees. And removing workplace barriers by putting workplace adjustments in place improves the engagement and productivity of employees. By having an open, constructive conversation, line managers can help reassure colleagues and build respect, trust, and compassion. Being asked and listened to what your needs are is a positive experience, and making these conversations a regular part of one-to-ones can promote inclusion in the team and the whole organisation. The civil service aims to be an exemplary, inclusive employer, helping everyone thrive at work. And finally, putting workplace adjustments in place for disabled colleagues is a legal requirement, so working to understand and implement adjustments makes sure we're meeting our responsibilities under the Equality Act 2010. We know why conversations about workplace adjustments are important. What sort of things do you need to think about to set up a discussion? Consider where. Conversations about health and workplace adjustments are likely to contain sensitive personal information, so you should make sure you're both somewhere private. Think about this in both the office environment and the home if hybrid working is in use in your team. Consider when. Workplace adjustments are important. Don't just squeeze it between meetings. Think about when the best time of day and day of the week is for you both to engage in the conversation. Consider why. Why are you having the conversation now, and what do you want to achieve from the conversation? Is the conversation about a new workplace barrier, adjustment need, or change of job role? Are you considering an occupational health referral? Or are you making or reviewing a workplace adjustment passport? Reminding yourself why you're having the conversation will make it easier to get concrete outcomes and actions from it. Make sure you have a blank copy of a workplace adjustment passport to hand. These are a great way of structuring your conversations, and recording what adjustments have been agreed might be helpful. You can find out more about the passport and guidance on how to use them on your intranet. You know why you're talking now. You're in a private space with dedicated time to talk. What questions should you ask, and what areas should you cover in your discussion? Workplace adjustments are about barriers, not health conditions. No one needs a formal diagnosis to assess adjustments, and although understanding the disability or health condition can be helpful, line managers don't need to know the intricacies of medical conditions. Focus on what you need to do your role successfully. Useful things to discuss. What are the barriers? What would remove these barriers? Have adjustments been in place in the past, and were they useful? If adjustments are no longer helpful, talk about what may have changed in the role or in the person's condition. Employees can choose what they do and don't want to share, but they should be encouraged to share anything which they need help with in their workspace. Remember to talk about strengths too. To identify the right workplace adjustments can often mean seeing what is going well and leaning into strengths as a solution. Use the workplace adjustment passport to record the conversation and the adjustments that you agree to put in place. Remember, the passport is owned by the employee and you need their permission to share it. Make sure you agree any actions that need to be taken from your conversation. For example, getting advice from occupational health, talking to your department's employee assistance programme, ordering equipment, putting in place any soft adjustments such as changes to working times or workloads, date or frequency of workplace adjustment passport reviews. Most adjustments can be agreed and implemented between an employee and their line manager. Sometimes in your conversation you might identify a need for an adjustment, but not be sure what it should be. If you need more advice, your first port of call should be your departmental intranet site. Your department's workplace adjustment policy and process will signpost you on how to get in touch with experts and obtain any specialist advice. Remember, talking about workplace adjustments isn't scary. Line managers and employees want to perform their roles successfully, and providing adjustments is key to removing workplace barriers. Finally, make sure you make time to review these conversations on a regular basis to make sure everything is working well. Workplace adjustments change working lives.